So, hello everybody. Welcome back. Happy New Year. So, one little change I'd like to make this year, only for those of you who would like to, is to invite you to put on your videos so that you appear up on the screen. So, when I did this on Monday morning, about half the class did and half the class didn't. I actually found I really enjoyed being able to see everybody. But I also understand that when I go to someone else's yoga class, I don't do that. So it's just up to you if you would like to. Hi, lovely to see you. Great. Oh, lovely to see so many of you here. So for this class, you don't really need anything. You could have a block or a brick if you'd like. And we're going to start lying flat on our backs. So if you'd like to come to lying down just to make yourself completely comfortable. You might want to cover yourself in a blanket. And there aren't really going to be any big surprises in this class. I'd like us to begin the term with a simplicity of a practice, so that we really allow ourselves to listen attentively to the body. And I'm going to read, as you just lie and settle, I'm going to read a couple of paragraphs from a book I've been reading that my daughter Matty gave me. It's actually a book about fungi. Some of you might have already read it, might have it. It's called Entangled Life by Merlin Sheldrake. You might wonder why I'm reading that at the beginning of a yoga class, but I hope it will become clear. Just lying down and settling and allowing yourself to really give yourself into the surface beneath you. And just settle into a natural breath. A friend of mine, the philosopher and magician David Abraham, used to be the house magician at Alice's restaurant in Massachusetts. Every night he passed around the tables. Coins warped through his fingers, reappeared exactly where they shouldn't, disappeared again, divided in two, vanished into nothing. One evening, two customers returned to the restaurant shortly after leaving and pulled David aside, looking troubled. When they left the restaurant, they said the sky had appeared shockingly blue and the clouds large and vivid. Had he put something in their drinks? As the weeks went by, it continued to happen. Customers returned to say the traffic had seemed louder than it was before. The street lights brighter, the patterns on the sidewalk more fascinating, the rain more refreshing. The magic tricks were changing the way people experienced the world. David explained to me why he thought this happened. Our perceptions work in large part by expectation. It takes less cognitive effort to make sense of the world using preconceived images, updated with a small amount of new sensory information, than to constantly form entirely new perceptions from scratch. It is our preconceptions that create the blind spots in which magicians do their work. By attrition, coin tricks loosen the grip of our expectations about the way hands and coins work. Eventually, they loosen the grip of our expectations on our perceptions more generally. On leaving the restaurant, the sky looked different because the diners saw the sky as it was, there and then, rather than as they expected it to be. Tricked out of our expectations, we fall back on our senses. And what's astonishing is the gulf between what we expect to find and what we find when we actually look. Tricked out of our expectations, we fall back on our senses. What's astonishing is the gulf between what we expect to find and what we find when we actually look. And so the invitation today is to simply open yourself to what's here with as little expectation as possible. And it can be really useful to come into poses and sequences that are familiar to us with that invitation, because there'll be a tendency to act from memory and expectation. But how about we strip all of that away? And you might like to take a few moments to set yourself an intention for your practice. What's brought you to the mat today? And if you'd like to slide your legs away, if you haven't already, so that you're lying completely extended. And just noticing what it is that you do notice. Is it maybe a physical sensation? Is it maybe the stream of your breath? Or maybe it's a feeling or emotion, or some very prevalent thoughts. What do you find when you peer into your inner landscape? And then very simply, on a breath in, drawing your toes towards you as your heels slide away. And as you breathe out, point your toes, slide your heels towards you. And take a few moving breaths like this with your feet and ankles very open to sensation. Pouring your attention into the feet. And allowing the breath to move you. Inhaling, drawing your toes towards you. Exhaling, pointing. And taking two more. And then settling your feet so they're rolling out a little bit, your legs wider apart. And on a breath in now, open your feet as wide out as possible, almost touching the floor with the little toes. And as you breathe out, roll your big toes into the center, as if you're trying to touch the floor but without strain. And continue like this, simply opening on the inhale and closing in on the exhale. And noticing where you feel this movement that you're initiating from the feet. But where does the movement move up the body to be felt? And taking two more full rounds. And again, just resting for a moment. Allow the legs to become heavy. And then on an inhale, scrunch your toes in as if you're making a fist with your foot, as tight as you can. Hold. and then release. And do that 4 more times. Scrunch your toes in, tighten the soles of your feet and release. 3 more times. And then just for a moment or two, lying completely still, relaxed. And there are movements we could do all up the body, but I'd like to come up to standing in a moment. So let's just concentrate for one more movement on our backs by feeling the weight of the head on the mat. Really sink the head into the surface beneath you and take a breath in. And as you breathe out, gently roll your head to the left. Feeling the weight of the head pressing into the mat as you roll. And breathing in, coming to the top. And use the breath to move your head to the right. So don't be in any hurry here. Remember that we're dropping expectation or memory of sensation to feel it raw and fresh. And just taking a couple more rolls here. And then lying for a moment completely neutral. Asking yourself what's here, what you notice. And in a few moments, I'm going to meet you standing, and I'd like you to come to standing any way that's right for you. You might like to come via a downward dog, or you might like to just simply roll over, roll up. And hi to those of you who've recently joined. Lovely to see you. I've given everyone the option of putting their videos on today if you fancy. And as you come to standing, I'd like you to actually look at your feet. And I'm hoping, even though it's winter and it's icy and cold, that some of you have got bare feet. This just increases the sensitivity of the connection with the floor. And I'd like you to peel off your right heel. So you're coming right up onto the tips of your right toes. You can spread your toes a little as you begin to reconnect the foot with the floor, the ball of the foot, and coming all the way back down to the heel. And then you can do that with the left foot as well, coming all the way up on the toes. Spread the toes out and gently replace the foot down. And you could do that again on each side if you like, just to really mindfully connect to the surface beneath you with the soles of your feet. And it's also quite nice to roll over onto the right. So for the right foot, it's the outside of the foot, for the left on the in, and then gently roll over to the other side. So very simple, nothing complex. But maybe almost feel as if you're growing new skin as you feel out into that connection. And then take a full breath in. And at the top of the inhalation, hold. And then exhale, mouth open. And this time, allow your breath in to float your arms up. Hold. And as you breathe out, mouth open, your arms come back down. And continue in your own time, own rhythm. It's lovely to see you. I can see everyone's working at different rhythms. There's no hurry. Allow the breath to move you. Maybe you begin to breathe a little bit of ujjayi breath, ocean breath, a little constriction in the back of your throat. And the next time you lift, peel your heels off the floor as well. So you're up on your toes. And come down on the breath out. Let's do that again, breathing in. And breathing out. You can breathe out with your mouth closed now. And when you come up for one last time, staying up for 5 breaths if you can, with a light smile on your face. Soft behind your eyes. Take a full breath in. And then breathing out, release slowly down to the floor. Wonderful. And then making sure that your feet are parallel and about hip distance apart. Breathing in, lifting your arms up. And breathe out, come down halfway, reaching out through your fingertips, your sitting bones out behind you. And take another breath in as you reach. And then exhale, come all the way down. And if you need to bend your knees, please do. Shin into the chest. And then pushing into your feet, come all the way up again. Inhale. And exhale, come halfway, long spine. Take a breath in. And exhale, come down all the way. Inhaling, come up halfway, fingertips to the floor or to your shins. And exhale, fold. Navel to the spine. Inhaling, lift halfway. What do you feel in the back of your legs? Exhale, fold. And then one more time. Inhaling, feel the unfurling of the torso, the spine. Exhale here, roll the shoulders away from the ears. Spread your toes. Inhale. And exhale, fold again. Maybe taking your hands behind your calves if that feels good. And just taking 3 breaths here. And allow this forward fold to emerge as sensation from the inside out without expectation. Lovely. Where can you drop? Where can you let go? And then pressing into your feet, on an inhale, come all the way up. Look up at your hands and then exhaling, palms together, bring them down to the heart space. Beautiful. Inhaling, lift. Exhaling, fold. And bend into your left knee. And take your left hand either to a brick or a block under your face, or maybe your left hand comes to the floor. So your right leg is straight and it's engaged. Your right hand is resting on your lower back.
And again, without rushing there, begin to unfurl from the inside out and twist to the right. Lead with the shoulder, the head will come last. And then you float your arm up also. And take a couple of breaths, feeling the little spinal twist at the same time as a hamstring stretch on the right. Beautiful. One more breath in as you reach up with your right hand, and then breathe out, come all the way back. Light bend in both knees and change the hands around. Bend into the right knee, straighten the left. And then begin to gently twist, lead with the shoulder, head, and then arm comes last. And breathe, beautiful. Really reaching without straining with your left fingertips to the sky. One more full breath in. And then on the breath out, gently releasing back down to your forward fold. On an inhale, lift your chest, lovely long spine again. And exhale, take your right foot behind you. And make sure your left heel is underneath your right knee. You know what I mean, left heel under the left knee. If you need to, your hands will be on bricks. And then what I'd like you to do in this runner's lunge is kind of curl in on yourself a little bit. So you bend the back knee, you scrunch yourself over the front knee. Take a breath in. And then breathe out, open it out again. So you push out through that back heel, you brighten your chest. And then breathe in, curl in on yourself again. Next time you're ready to breathe out, open out again. And then let's take a couple of breaths here. Rolling the shoulders back, nice long spine. Back leg is engaged, beautiful. Take a breath in here. And on the exhale, drop the right knee now. Beautiful. And bring both hands inside the left foot. And you might like to move around a little bit here, feeling into the left hip, but also feeling into the right thigh and the front of the right hip. Make sure you move in both directions. And then you might want to stay with your arms straight. You might like to walk your hands out in front of you. Or you might find that you want to come down on your forearms. And allow the left knee to rock out to the side a little as you fall into a few breaths here. And all you're doing is noticing what's here. Maybe if you can, without any judgment. One more full breath in. And a long breath out. And then gently come back. Both hands around that front foot, lift the back knee. Take a full breath in. And then gently step yourself forwards, breathe out. Breathe in, flat back. And now take the left foot back. Right ankle under the knee. And we curl in on ourselves first, inhale. And exhale, unfurl. Inhale, curl in on yourself. Exhale, straighten. Let's just do one more. Inhale, curl in. And exhale. Come into the full lunge here. So nice strong back leg. Roll the shoulders back, bright chest. Breathe and soften if you can, noticing what's here. Take a full breath in. And then as you breathe out, drop the left knee, bring the right hand inside the foot. And you can stir around a little bit here, feeling sensation in the hips. So I don't know if you've all been practicing yoga the last 3 weeks, or if this is the first time, but in a way it doesn't matter. It's still going to feel different and new if you remove that lens of expectation away from your perception. And then either staying with your arms straight or walking your hands out in front of you, or bringing your forearms down. Maybe allow that right knee to fall out to the side a little. And breathe. And what do you notice here? Wonderful. And then from here, gently coming back the way you came. A hand on the side of each foot, lift the back knee. But this time from our lunge, we'll slide back to a downward dog. And take a few breaths here to really feel into the dog. Maybe moving from foot to foot. Maybe moving your bottom from side to side. So you can really luxuriate, really spread your fingers, feel the pose. Allow the pose to emerge from the inside out without worrying about the shape you're making, just feel it. And on your next breath in, ripple forwards to plank, your shoulders over your wrists. And if you're feeling tired tonight, you could drop your knees. Otherwise, let's take a few breaths for strength. So you're really pushing through your hands into the earth as you lift the back of your ribs up towards the ceiling. And you push your heels away, breathe. Front body is drawing into the back body. And in the midst of this effort, can you soften your attention? One more breath in. And then as you breathe out, drop your knees. And roll all the way down over the front of your body. Arms down by your sides, resting on one cheek just for a moment. And then turning your head the other way. Simply breathing with the front of your body. And then coming to rest your chin on the mat, so you're looking forwards. And as you breathe in, you're going to lift everything. Spread your fingers, your toes. And breathe out, release back down. Really fire up the muscles of your back as you breathe and you lift your legs and your arms, your chest. And breathe out, come down. And this time come up and stay for 3 breaths. Really energize, activate the back of the body. One more breath in. And then breathing out, come down. Take a full breath in. Pause and then exhale, mouth open. And take 2 more breaths like this. Your head could be to one side if you want. And sliding your hands by your ribs. Inhale to all fours. Exhale, come back to your downward dog. And take 3 breaths here with an invitation to find length in the side body, length in the spine. On the next breath in, look in between your hands and walk or step your feet forwards. Exhale to forward fold. Inhale, flat back again. Exhale, fold. Pushing through your feet, inhale, come all the way up. And exhaling, hands to your heart, just take a moment to feel the body now. So simple. It's a practice that's stripped back, no frills. And inhale, lift up. And exhale, fold again. Inhale to flat back. And exhale, take your right foot back again, back into a lunge. But this time, press the right hand into the floor and the left hand into the lower back. If this is too much for you, drop the back knee. And then peel open and twist to the left. And I'd like us to curl in and open like we did in that lunge. So as you breathe in, curl in on yourself. And exhale, explore the opening here. As you breathe in, curl in on yourself. And as you breathe out, open. One more time. Inhale, curl in. Exhale, open, and really notice now if there's any more expansion. If you feel the whole body, inhale. Exhale, place your left hand back down and inhale, step forwards to a flat back. Exhale, left foot comes behind you, left hand down. Inhale, open into your twist. Exhale here, and then inhale, curl in. Exhale, open. Inhale, curl in. Exhale, open. Inhale, curl in. And exhale, open for 2 or 3 breaths. Feel this twist now. Breathe it open. One more breath in. And join me as you breathe out back into a downward dog. Expansive breathing. Feeling the whole body from your fingertips to your toes. Inhale to plank. And exhale, either drop your knees or lower yourself all the way down. So that you're lying on the front of your body with your fingertips now about level with your shoulders. And I'd like you to really press your big toes and your pubic bones into the mat. And breathing in, roll your shoulders up and back to peel your chest up. Won't come far. And breathe out, come back down again. And breathe in, peel up. And breathe out, come down. And breathe in, peel up. And stay here for 2 or 3 breaths. Slide the shoulder blades down the spine. Really activate the back muscles and smile your collarbones here. One more breath in. And then breathe out, come down. Breathe into all fours. And meet me in a downward dog. Notice the quality of your breath. And looking forwards, walk, step or jump your feet in between your hands. And inhale to a flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale to a flat back. And exhale, fold. And one last time, inhale to flat back, really roll the shoulders back. Navel to the spine now as you exhale and you fold. And pressing into your feet, breathe in, come all the way up. Looking up at your palms, bring them together and exhale, bring them down. Watching them there as they come. And let's take a few moments just with our eyes closed, maybe both hands on the heart, maybe one hand on the belly. And feel again the whole body, from the soles of your feet to the very top of your head. And take a few breaths here. Wonderful. And releasing your hands down by your sides. And looking down to make sure that your feet are parallel, that they're hip distance apart. And lift your arms up on the breath in. It's all about connection through the feet. And exhaling, sit back on your chair, fingertips to the floor. So you're really sitting back, drawing the side waist back, the navel in. Inhale, arms parallel to the floor. Exhale here. And then inhale, arms up by your ears. And you're either looking down or straight ahead of you, or maybe some of you will avert your eyes up in between your hands. Breathe. Tuck the tailbone under here. One more breath in. And then exhale, fold yourself all the way down. And take a full breath in and out here. And sit back in your chair. Arms halfway, inhale. Exhale here. Float your arms up by your ears. Either look down, ahead, or in between your hands. Tuck the tailbone under, long side body. Take a breath in, and then as you breathe out, push yourself up to standing. And float your arms down by your sides. Take a moment to feel the heat maybe. Notice the quality of your breath. So we're going to bring a twist into our chair. Parivrita Utkatasana. So we need nice strong legs, nice long spine here. So breathing and lift your arms up. Palms together now as you sit back in your chair, breathe out. Take a breath in, and then we twist to the right. Absolutely fine to separate your hands. I take my right thumb into the hip crease to help the torso over the thigh. But I want you to check that your knees are level and they're not knocking. And actually make a fist with your left hand, the right hand can wrap over it. Beautiful. And take a few breaths, either looking down or maybe twisting to look over your right shoulder. Every breath in, you find length in the spine, and every breath out, you explore if there's any more room for movement, but without strain. One more breath in here. And then breathe out, look down, and release yourself down into forward fold. Just for a moment of ease. And then breathe in, come all the way up. And breathe out, hands together as you sit back in your chair. Wonderful. Take your twist to the left. Remember, you can use your left thumb in the hip crease to ease your way over. Check the knees aren't touching or they're making sure they're level. Make a fist with your right hand, left hand on top. And explore the range of movement here. Long in the spine on the breath in. Lovely. Nice twist, nice massage for the abdominal organs on the breath out. One more breath in. As you breathe out, look down and release. And inhale, come all the way up. And on the exhale, come all the way down again. Inhale to a flat back. Exhale, come to your downward dog. I'm gonna give you the option of taking a side plank. This isn't for everybody. If you need to drop one knee and take half side plank, do. Otherwise, coming to plank, making sure that your right hand is right under the shoulder as you roll over on the edge of the right foot. This is where you might want to drop the right knee, come into the half version. Or you might like to take the left foot out in front. It's another half version, two versions. Or left foot is resting on the right foot. And breathe in here. You might take your left arm over your ear as you lift your hips sideways towards the ceiling. Good strengthening pose. Inhale, exhale, bring yourself to plank. And choose your way on the other side of which version you want to take. And breathe. One more breath in. And then meet me in the plank. Drop your knees. Take them quite wide apart as you slide your bottom back to your heels. Hands underneath the forehead for a very easy pose of the child. And settle here. And if you feel that you're gathering tension, if you feel that your breath is unsettled, take a few of those ha breaths where you just use the exhale with an open mouth to pour out residual tension. Allowing the whole of the body to settle here. So you can really give yourself time to drop back into your inner landscape. And what do you notice? What's here for you now? Sometimes coming back to a known practice, some of the basic poses is a really wonderful way of just coming back to the center, coming back to the ground when our world is even more uncertain yet again. This is just such a resource for us to come back, like a lifeline. And you know it's always here for you, whether it's in a class with me or with someone else, or just coming to your mat for 10 minutes. Allowing yourself that luxury of feeling the breath and every cell of your body alive. From your child's pose, please slide onto your belly into a sphinx, so that your elbows are underneath your shoulders, if that's comfortable for you. Or taking them a little bit wider apart if you feel any too much compression in the lower back, any pain. And just allow your chin to drop in towards your chest, so you feel a soft lengthening in the back of the neck. Shoulders drop away. Take a breath in here. And then roll your right ear towards your right shoulder. And then roll the chin back, left ear to the left shoulder. So in your own way, taking a few little neck rolls here. You might find you want to look over one shoulder. You might find you want to look over the other shoulder. Breathe. And taking your thumb and forefingers and interlocking them into the opposite elbow crease. You've got a nice triangle here. So we're going to come into a little moving back bend that we've done a lot in other classes. We need to really connect through the knees and the elbows and breathe and lift your bottom up to melt your heart down. And breathe out slowly, steadily with that strength you've created. Come all the way back to Sphinx. Let's do that 2 more times. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And if you feel this is comfortable for you, coming back into that heart melting pose to stay for a few breaths, your bottom over your knees, heart melting either chin or forehead to the floor. Breathe. One more breath in. And then breathing out, release your hands and slowly slide your way back into a child's pose, but take your arms out behind you, palms facing up. And really drop into the shoulders, drop into the buttocks. Feel the body here. Can you release completely into your jaw and soften behind your eyes? Wonderful. Bringing your hands on either side of your head. Gently straighten your arms to bring yourself up. And we're going to come into a little squat, a little malasana, and some of you might want to use a block or to roll up your blanket for this. Just going to come up onto our toes. And some of you will, so I know Mandy, for example, can squat with her heels down, feet together, knees together. I can't do that. So you find your way. I like to have my heels about hip distance apart, toes pointing out, knees in line with the toes. It's also really nice to squiggle around a little bit here. And then if you're able to drop down into your heels, bring your hands together and use your upper arms to press the knees apart. And like I said, please feel free to place your heels on a block or the rolled up mat, and then take a few breaths. Heels of your hands pressed together, heels of your feet into the floor as you find length in the spine and a brightness in the chest. Breathe. And Caroline, I'm so sorry. I think I cycled past you today. The sun was right in my eyes and only realized it was you after I'd left. I hope you didn't think I was terribly rude. Lots of love to you. One more breath in. And then breathing out, just curling in now, chin into your chest. And you can begin to lift your bottom, fingertips to the floor, as you gently come into a very soft standing forward fold. And we're going to unfurl, feet are parallel now as you just come up bone by bone. Only roll the shoulders back right at the end. And come back to feeling the verticality of your body. And feeling your feet connected. Take a nice big stride with your left foot out behind you. Checking that the alignment is front heel to back instep. Hands to your heart as you drop into that front knee. Strong back leg. So I'm beginning by facing you, facing the long end of the mat. Just having a quick look to see that the right knee isn't falling into the middle, but it's just coming nicely out to the right. Tracking over that right ankle. And you might like to keep your hands on your heart, or you might like to open your arms out, warrior two, with no expectation. Breathe and feel the pose now after everything we've done. Can you feel your skin? Turn your right palm up and inhale, straighten into that front leg. And exhale, come into reverse warrior. Right arm up by the ear, bend into the knee again. You can look down to the left foot or under your right armpit. And breathe. Can you feel the whole body alive? On an inhale, return to warrior two. And exhale, elbow to your knee, left arm over the ear for Parsvakonasana side angle pose. Your right hand could go to the floor on either side of the foot, or you could keep your elbow here. Nothing fancy, just simply feel the side of the body all the way from the outside edge of your foot to your fingertips. Breathe in. And breathe out here. One more breath in. As you exhale, look down, left hand to your hip as you straighten the front leg. If you want to, step the right foot in ever so slightly, left foot, excuse me. And find your triangle. So there's lots of fancy ways of coming in, but let's just find it ourselves today. And breathe. One more breath in. Breathe out, look down, hand to your hips. And gently come all the way up, both feet to parallel. Heels are out a little. Take a breath in, long spine, open chest, and come all the way down. Wide angled forward fold, just for a moment or two. Neutralizing the pelvis, the spine, before we bring those poses to the other side. Gentle bend in the knees, hands to the hips. Inhale, come up. Turn the left foot out, right foot in, hands to the heart, and fold into warrior two to the left. Check that left knee. And you might like to stay. It's lovely having both hands to the heart, or you might like to release your arms out, checking the alignment to the back and the front. Breathe. So rather than worry too much about alignment today, can you feel the whole of your skin boundary alive? Turn the left palm up. Inhale, straighten the front leg. Swing the arm up and exhale, reverse warrior. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Lovely. The poses I can see look beautiful. Keep working that left knee out so it doesn't fall into the center. This way you strengthen your inner thigh muscles, your adductor muscles. Inhale back to warrior two. And exhale, side angle pose. Your left hand could be on the floor or your elbow on the knee. Breathe. One more breath in. As you breathe out, look down, right hand to your hips, straighten that front leg. And bring yourself to triangle. Fine if you want to step your right foot in slightly. And breathe it. Just make sure that the muscles of your legs are working. And then see if you can spin a little to the right. Beautiful, breathe. Feel the whole body. One more breath in. And breathe out, look down, bend lightly into that front knee to bring yourself up. And we'll come straight into that forward fold. But this time you have the option, if you'd like, of interlacing your hands behind your back. Roll the shoulders up and back, inhale, open chest. And exhale, come all the way down. Really squeeze the shoulder blades together if you're doing this version. Lift your knees up so you really engage the quadriceps. And breathe. Feel your feet. One more breath in. And as you breathe out, simply release your hands all the way down. And everybody make your way into a downward dog. And you have a choice. You could drop into pose of the child, or you could come for one final little vinyasa, coming to plank, coming all the way down. Choosing a little back bend if that's right for you. And then coming to rest for a moment in pose of the child, feeling the body. Take a few breaths in your own way to settle into this pose. Lovely. When you're ready, if you'd like to meet me sitting with your right leg extended and your left knee bent, absolutely fine to sit up on a blanket. Absolutely fine to take a block under the left knee or take something under the right knee if you're all scrunched up. You want to have a nice length in the spine. And we'll unwind with a little seated sequence. You'll recognize these poses because I often do them because I love to end my own practice like this. So your right leg is coming as far out to the right as it will go. And let's look ahead to begin with and take a breath in. Nice long spine. And as you breathe out, turn to the left a little, right hand on the left knee, just so that you can relax and release down through both sitting bones and hips. Inhale back to the front. And exhale, now come around to the right. Left hand on the right knee, right hand behind you. If your right leg is straight, pull your toes towards you. So you engage the hamstrings, quadricep. Obviously, if your right knee is over a bolster or a blanket, just allow it to soften. And now come to having both hands on the right knee or on either side of it. And take a breath in and lift your arms up. And as you breathe out, reach, and you can shimmy and move as you reach over towards the right foot. And you can have a hands on your legs, on the floor. Maybe your wrists are crossed if you're able to hold onto the foot. And again, I don't want to over-instruct this. I would like you to find your own way in the pose, feel it. As long as there's no pain, I'm not too worried about the alignment or about what you're doing. I'd rather you feel your way. Maybe one shoulder feels higher than the other, for example, and you could relax it. Maybe you could invite more softness into the left hip. Maybe there are really strong sensations that invite the breath into the center of them, just to explore the possibility to dissolve them a little. One more full breath in and a long breath out. And as you gently come up, bone by bone, use your hands to bring the right leg over the left. And you have a choice. You could extend the left leg to come into half Ardha Matsyendrasana, half Lord of the Fishes. Or you could keep that left foot by the right hip, wrapping the left elbow around the knee. So you draw everything in towards you, nice and tight. Lift up the right arm, inhale. And exhale, take a little twist to the right. And it's fine to move and wriggle around. Come to the breath. Don't strain. One more full breath in. As you breathe out, look around to the front. And bring your right knee on top of the left. Again, if your left leg is extended, that's absolutely fine. And you have the option of sitting here quite simply, really feeling that flood of sensation that might have come into your buttocks and your hips. Or you might like to add a little bit more of an upper body asana or a Garudasana arms, eagle arms, as you inhale and open out wide. And you wrap your left arm over your right for eagle arms. Absolutely your choice. And you can wriggle around a little bit here, slide the shoulder blades down the back, lift the elbows and hands away from the face and breathe. Some of you might like to fold over your knees with your upper body and arms. I'm going to stay upright for now.
One more breath in. If your arms are in eagle arms, just gently unwind. Maybe give yourself a little bit of a hug. I could stay in that pose for 5 minutes, but let's take these poses to the other side. Gently unwind. Left leg extended, right foot in. I'm so glad you've got your own yoga room, Polly, now. So good to see you. Okay, and make sure that your left leg is either engaged by pulling the toes towards you or placed over a blanket if you need to. Inhale as you open to the front, and exhale, take a little twist to the right. Nothing too strong. Lovely. Inhale. And then exhale, come round to twist the other way. This is just to prepare the pelvis and the spine for the forward fold over the leg in Janu Shirshasana. Take a breath in and then gently find your way to looking over the left leg. Lift your arms up, inhale. And then find your own way forwards, nothing too rigid. And it will feel different on this side. Is one of your shoulders really high, for example? Can you soften into that right hip? Can you soften all the tissues of your face? Gently, gently coming up, bringing the left leg with you for the twist. Remember that you can straighten out the right leg if you need to. Right elbow hooked around the left knee. Inhale, lift the left arm up. You should be able to feel both your sitting bones here. Twist to the left. And find the grace of your twist. Where do you feel it? Not where do you think you should feel it, but where do you actually feel it? And how does it affect your breath? One more breath in. Breathe out, look to the front. Stack your left knee on top of the right, either with the right leg extended or bent. And take a moment to drop attention into the base of the body. And you can stay here, or you could join me in eagle arms, opening out wide. Inhale. Wrapping the right arm over the left. So it's the opposite arm to the leg that's on the top. And remember, you can wriggle around, you can explore a little bit of movement, you can bend yourself over, fold yourself over the legs, whatever feels right for you. Coming to the end of the practice now, so feeling your way. Taking a full breath in, and as you breathe out, release your arms, maybe have a little hug on the way. And the final pose we'll take will be on our backs in a happy baby pose. This is just a neutral pose to stabilize the pelvis. So coming onto your backs with your knees in towards you. And take your knees as far apart as they'll go, the soles of your feet to the ceiling.
If you can, holding on to your feet. And using your arms to press your legs a little bit more apart. You can always rest something under your head if your chin is jutting up. And then come into some really full deep breaths here as you allow your hips to, and your groin and your legs and your lower back to really enjoy this final pose. Soften the face. And you can experiment. Does it feel nice for you tonight to try and flatten your lower back on the floor? Almost to pin it down? Or does it feel better to peel it up a little bit? They're different poses, but I don't mind which you do. I'm interested more in how you notice the difference between the two. And you're welcome to stay here a little bit longer if you like, or to bring your knees in together. Give yourself a little hug, maybe even lift your head up to your knees. Doing anything else that you need to do before you settle out into Shavasana, making sure you're warm enough. And I would allow your arms and legs a little way apart, so your hands can open to the sky, your feet can flop out to the side. And you're back where you started. We're back where we started. And all there is left to do is to notice again and again what sensations are present, the quality of the breath. If anything's changed for you, your inner landscape. Can you give yourself up a little bit? Allow the earth, allow gravity to have you, to take you. And of course you can stay for as long as you like. But if you're ready to come out, you can take a few slightly deeper breaths. Maybe invite some gentle movement into your extremities, your fingers and your toes, your ankles, your wrists, your shoulders and your neck. Whatever feels right for you to bring a little bit more life into the body. Maybe a full stretch.
Maybe drawing your knees into the chest and having a little hug and rolling around from side to side until you're ready to roll over to one side and gently bring yourself up to sitting. Please feel free to stay just where you are. You don't have to come out. That's one of the benefits of not being in the river room. Just for a moment, if you're sitting with me, close your eyes, hands together in front of the heart space. And take stock a moment, simply noticing anything that you may have received or you may have given yourself in this practice. Noticing the quality of your breath. The sense of your body here in relation to the space around you. And the sense that there are 20 of us practicing tonight online together. Let's take a full breath into the heart space as an offering to everyone here and beyond. And as you breathe out, bowing your head, chin to your chest. Long breath out. And breathing in, lifting your head gently and opening your eyes into the evening. Thank you very, very much for joining me. Namaste. I will stay a little while in case anybody wants to say hi, but I understand you might want to go off and eat your tea. But do